This did not age well now, did it, Jussie?
Spitting nothing but facts. Fans screaming, I'm back. Legendary, I'm that. Cooking up a new batch.
Greetings, my fellow Marauders out there. My name is V, and we're gonna take a trip down memory lane. We're gonna go on a field trip back in time to when MTV was good. Yeah, MTV. You know, back when they had actual music video shows, especially TRL. But that's not where we're going to be having our focus today. Today, we're going to be focusing on the animation block that actually built up for itself with kind of interesting programming. You know, before ridiculousness and, oh god, this piece of shit here. MTV housed a lot of good programming. Some of it being Beavis and Butthead, then we have trash like Ren and Stimpy Adult Party, and then we had the stuff that led into most people's childhoods. There we had our Darias, some people had the Max, and then we had, what the hell is this? But then we have the shows that we are going to be talking about today that were so universally loved by the viewership that it also became somewhat controversial.
Deimos! Damn him in his jet black hair winning smile! My son won't even look me in the eye anymore!
How to unpack this? So, Clone High being an original series made by Phil Lord, and oh my god, the guy that made Scrubs made this entertaining animated series about if some weird governmental employees and mad scientists took some historical figures, both male and female, and cloned them, where one side is trying to turn them into a clone army to rule the world, Pinky and the Brain style, and the other side is trying to do something more wacky. But the main focus that we have it on isn't on that huge, entirely interesting plot. It's instead focused on the lives of historical figures if they were teenagers in the late 90s, early 2000s. I suddenly have a weird feeling that this is like a proto-American anime, but I don't see Avatar: The Last Airbender references. In any case, though, it only ran for about one season, for many reasons we'll get into later. And it also has a huge cult following where a lot of people really want this show back. Even during the latest Spider-Man movie that you guys should really check out, they had a poster about Clone College, which hinted that the creators still want to make the series. Hell, they've made a joke their whole lives saying they're doing this to bring back Clone High. That's a huge recommendation when the creators themselves love this property so much.
Well said.
But does it really warrant its cult status, or is it just a figment of people's nostalgia trains? Well, let's just take a dive into the pilot of Clone High and see whether or not the magic really was there to hook an audience for one full year, or if it was just a misplaced conglomeration of something horrific.
Way back in the 1980s, secret government employees dug up famous guys and ladies and made them using genetic copies. Now
We open to, oh dear god, this is so painful. So, yeah, if you guys haven't noticed from my reaction, the designs of these characters is awful. I mean, if you guys go on DeviantArt, you find terrible artwork all the time. But this is something that was for live television audiences in the early 2000s, where we had quality of stuff like American Dragon Jake Long, The Life and Times of Juniper Lee, several Transformers spin-offs, and My Life as a Teenage Robot. A lot of 4 instances right there, along with Static Shock, Jackie Chan Adventures, and this shit here. Oh god, this is gonna be painful visually, because look at Abe fucking Lincoln! I mean, Gandhi, yeah, he looks fine. But Abe goddamn Lincoln! Dude, why draw him like this? Why? Anyway, enough of my artist stroke right now. So, we open up to our 2 male leads of Abraham Lincoln, the clone of him to be precise, and Gandhi, who I'm sure did not cause this series to get cancelled. Oh, but wait, we're missing just one person, and Oh, hello, salad head. I'm joking. I'm joking. Her name is Joan of Arc, but she's just known as Joan. But seriously, that head looks like a salad bowl. Anyway, our three protagonists are now going, of course, the illustrious Clone High. How do we know it's a Clone High? Well.
Oh yeah, steamed vegetables. What'd Mama make for you? 9 fried peanut butter banana sandwiches and a thermos full of tranquilizers. Thank you very much.
Oh, nothing says clones like 2 Elvis Presleys. And Marilyn Monroe as a joke about sleeping with the Kennedys. Oh, and also, take a look at this guy. Doesn't he look familiar?
It too brute.
Oh, cinema history. Anyway, we have a plot to get to, but before that, though, we need the school hoe. But where can we find her? Oh, hello, Cleopatra.
Use a hoe.
That's the first time I've ever used a ludicrous sound clip as an intro for a character. But yeah, we got the school hoe to make the sexual tension super, super high for Abraham Lincoln in an unplanned love triangle, in his opinion, because it's unplanned for everyone when you have the IQ of a walnut. As Joan is literally trying to get her best friend's bone, because sure, while Cleo is just like, I'm the slut one. So of course, you know, if you're a guy in high school, as I just check in every direction to make sure that no guy's gonna pop up out of nowhere, odds are they gonna go with the hoe. For now. We'll get to that maybe in a future review. In any case, from just introducing the school hoe, the 3 protagonists, I feel like we're missing a few oh, right, JFK is the school bully, but we'll cover that part later. We also have a plot, apparently.
Anyway, Abe, JFK's having a party Friday. I hope I see you there.
Yes, thank you, Cleo. Yeah, there's a school party. That's apparently the main plot of this episode, because high school just started again, and we gotta throw a party like they do back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. But where's like the adults in this high school?
You see, I'm not just your kindly history teacher, I'm also the first mostly human clone. Spliced in a little sheep DNA.
Okay, when I said adults, I didn't mean abominations of both the animation quality and the science quality. Can we get like an actual adult here on screen?
For what is more powerful than a high school principal?
You know, this guy is giving me really, really bad nostalgia critic flashbacks. So yeah, this counts as an adult, a man-child, but an adult. This is mad scientist slash principal Scudworth. Not to be confused with a much better mad scientist, I might say.
I am mad scientist. It's so cool. Son of a bitch.
Oh, there's no beating that insane bastard. But no, Scudworth here is the antagonist? I mean, authority figures in these type of high school shows have to be the antagonist, because that's like the rule of thumb. Look at every film from the 80s involving high school ever. But no, he's just here to serve the B plot, which is, how can adults relate to the kids nowadays?
Oh, that's stupid!
Really stupid.
That trope just sounds so old and makes me feel like I'm aging 500 years forward. So, now that we've already established our A and our B plot, what's the roadblock?
I will see you there. And by will, I mean won't.
Okay, there's roadblock for A. Now, there's either one, Abe could, you know, give up on the party, try and make himself into a good enough student, and by golly, get with his best friend because she's the greatest option, because what's better than dating your best friend? Or B...
I'll get the beer. Be there at 8.
Did anyone else see that coming besides me? Yeah, that's how we're gonna get through the first roadblock. We're gonna bring beer to an underage high school party for 16 to 17-year-olds. I see no problem happening with this. But what's the roadblock for the B plot line?
Attention students, JFK will be having a huge cake tonight. Students only!
I smell shenanigans that we'll get to later. Let's focus on the A plot because there's also a plot involving a
Teen Crisis Hotline.
that I really do not want to touch because of 13 Reasons Why flashbacks that we'll get to in a later review. God, there's so many reviews we gotta handle in this show. But first, the A plot. How are they gonna get this beer?
Easy. Tell them that they heard you wrong. What you said was, I'll get the beards.
Okay, that was a good enough joke. You know, I'll give it a golf clap. But seriously, though, these idiots are trying to figure out how to get beer for an underage party. Luckily, I know the perfect man that has an idea for this exact job.
I'll steal it! No one will ever know! No one will ever know! No one will ever know! No one will ever know!
Ugh, so close. He alerted the authorities down the street. He's now serving 5 to 10. Dan. Don't worry, Dan. We'll bring you back in later on in the show.
They drive me to drink!
We got Dan out of jail and he vomited all over my flannel. Anyway, back into Clone High where it's the night of the party. Everyone is going a little bit stir crazy. And there's only one missing ingredient to make this whole thing.
Hey everybody, it's me, Abe!
Hi, Abe. There's nothing really of note here.
Hey everybody, it's a keg of beer!
God damn it! So, yeah, he technically gets people beer. Technically being the key word. Why?
Not exactly. I could only get non-alcoholic beer.
Non-alcoholic because, sure. So that's going down low. The Teen Crisis Hotline still apparently being a thing. We have A. Gandhi being a dick.
The only way I can cling to my sanity is that nobody knows how lonely I truly am.
He's sad.
Because, sure. And Joan just being there because she wants Abe's dick.
Oh, here go hell come.
That's like the most subtle way I can put it. That's all she fucking wants. But was there like a B plot here or...
What's up, fellow students? Raise the roof! Raise it!
Go home. You are drunk. Don't ever come back. I mean, seriously, whose man's is this? But yeah, while Scudworth is there just making an ass out of himself, and while the kids are making asses out of themselves while being nude, what about the unfortunate nature that is Abe trying to get into the STD-riddled pants of one Cleopatra?
No, Abe. Maybe it's for beer talking.
I doubt it.
Oh, Abe. It's like there's a tin can phone from your brain to my heart.
Is it too late to mention that there's a cute scene of Joan with Vice Principal Butlertron, aka Mr. B? Because I feel like it's too late to mention that scene right now.
That no good cheating tramp! Hey, get off my dinghy! Not you.
Okay, that joke was funny, JFK. In any case, though, with Cleo now torn apart over which person to choose over, because sure, we then have to have the Teen Crisis Hotline not only give us a moment with Vincent Van Gogh. Why does that name sound so familiar? And then, of course, with everything else going around of prank after prank, it's up to Joan to make the responsible decision. Now, Joan has an opportunity here to either A, really help out by showing that Cleo should be with the nice guy. Not the r/nice guy that's all over the internet. Like someone that really deserves her for herself as someone that's just trying to be the exact best for this utter tramp. No, I'm just fucking with you. She decides at first to just have her get with JFK. Only to then turn around and do the friend thing.
You know what? Go with the nicer guy.
Cause why not make this cliche? Anyway, after giving some revenge plotline that's gonna come up later, but for some odd reason, it's not like someone needs their comeuppance or something, we then have to have this unnecessary scene of Cleo choosing Abe in front of JFK, then JFK hitting on Joan. But I feel like this teen party is missing something.
Well, 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 if it isn't my old friend, underage drinking.
Yep, just like in anything involving a teen party, we got ourselves the local police. As well as probably one of the most interesting things I have ever witnessed from a police officer. But you have to watch the episode to find out what I mean. In any event, though, he's arresting Gandhi because Gandhi is spastic, and Joan because she just happens to be holding a red cup. It sounds like a John Mulaney joke right there, believe me. I've thought this whole thing through. And he's about to just cart them away, and Abe is about to go down the River Nile.
I understood that reference.
Only to then do the typical thing of a protagonist of, I'm confessing my crime.
It's non-alcoholic beer.
It goes as well as you'd expect. Yeah, you guys thought it was that sappy shit? Well, you thought wrong. I love quoting myself from previous episodes. So yeah, Abe is now a laughingstock because he brought non-alcoholic beer to a party, which is a total dick move, by the way, asswipe. But it's swiftly forgotten because Gandhi's own comeuppance comes up because this is what happens when you don't help the teen crisis hotline. Either that or some girl named Hannah Baker kills herself and releases 13 tapes or some stupid shit. But the episode actually ends with Cleopatra handing off a note to Abe that signifies her undying need to fiddle around and say that she has 2 boyfriends that she desperately does not need. And that is, in essence, Clone High's pilot. My ultimate thoughts is that the pilot isn't necessarily that bad. What? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the most golden thing in the world. God knows, I've seen a lot more developed pilots. But it does establish the rules that we typically know from a high school show, but also subverts it with its own dark humor, as well as doing something of subverting natural tropes. The best friend characters just pining over each other after many seasons of establishing things, just toss out the window to just say that this is a real life thing. The slutty character is introduced to just be that typical foil that you'll see for a couple episodes before just kind of showing their true enough colors that you don't typically see in other shows. And even the comic relief does end up suffering a lot more than they typically do in other shows of, I would think, Skeeter from Doug, or any person that tried to be the second fiddle to Doug Walker. In any event, though, it does still suffer from certain problems. The animation could be a little bit better for how the character designs were. How they did certain jokes kind of didn't fit in, like this one joke I didn't mention about George Washington Carver making a living peanut, because that's just so fucking weird. And just making certain characters just so unappealing for the sake of either A, making fun of mental capacity, or B, how they were described in life, just does not really mesh well when you're trying to do stuff that's somewhat sensitive to certain legacies. Then again, there is the elephant in the room as to why this show was canceled in the first place, involving Gandhi being a character that was mocking the heritage of the Indian people. So it kind of stands the purpose that Clone High pushed the envelope a lot without really trying. And you know what? I feel like that actually did work in its favor. Sure, the animation quality for myself wasn't up to snuff, but then again, I'm kind of an art snob for certain people. Sure, certain jokes did not land. Maybe it's just the typical thing of humor is subjective. Sure, certain things of subversion really did not help its case. That's to be expected from people that are just trying to get certain story elements that they themselves believe was the common trope. That's to be expected from people that just thought that they were entitled to something that totally isn't within their realms of ownership. But even still, comparing it to a lot of other things that we will get into over the course of this series, and even a few things I have gone into, it truly does try to stick to what its methods and message are at the end of the day. And I honestly do applaud them for just going to this exact mile. So, grading time. For just the pilot alone for Clone High, I would ultimately give this I want to say a 7.6 out of 13 with a C+, and awarding it at least 3.5 out of 7 stars. I know I'm being a little bit critical, but honestly, from what you see in later episodes, this really does show that I have my bigger standards for this show. It did not reach its own peak. The writing was not up to snuff. And believe you me, if we ever get back to Clone High, you'll understand why I'm being this down on it. But that stands the question, what is the next review, you're probably wondering? Well, I heard it's a little shocking.
You don't fuck with the pyramid and
Our city of gods, look where we are, baby. You never did this before, you with the stars, baby. You know we itching for war, looking for y'all, baby. Cause I'm in Illy-Mo, really, oh, city of gods, look where we are, baby. You never did this before, you with the stars, baby. You know we itching for war, looking for y'all, baby. Cause I'm in Illy-Mo, really, no.
I am talking backwards and telling you to watch Clone High, and for us to get an Emmy, I'm saying that backwards, because it's sneaky.